Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mels Mat Chat, and you are watching episode 231 of the podcast. How's everybody doing? It is Revolution weekend. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to talk about on the preview and predictions. It will be going, I'm not going live from it. I'm not going to be going live. I am going to be um uploading it at 9 a.m. I'm going to record it tonight before I go to bed. Um, I got stuff to do this weekend and whatnot, and I just won't have the time to go live. But I will be going live right after Revolution. So it's going to be crazy this weekend. You're going to get all my thoughts on Revolution Sunday morning at 9 a.m. What a way to start on AEW Revolution's weekend. I have a theme going if you can't tell. You will see a different shirt on Sunday morning, and then you'll see a completely different shirt on Sunday night. So I want everybody to have amazing weekend. We're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna have so much fun. Seriously, first and foremost, please go follow me on my social media accounts. It's Mels Mat Chat on Instagram, Twitter, and you can look me up on Melissa A. Klein on Melissa A. Klein on Facebook. You could get me on TikTok, Snapchat, the whole do. Go check it all out. Um, and again, I'm gonna give you all my thoughts and stuff on AEW buying or Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor on the preview and predictions because I gotta have something to talk about. There it and what's this got to do with Cody Rhodes and whatnot, and what it means to me is that I don't have to eat my words. So this is a beautiful weekend. Hopefully everybody's having a great time this weekend. We're just pressing on, and it's going to be crazier as we're getting further along, and then road to WrestleMania. Um, it was announced this morning that um NXT Stand and Deliver will be at 10 p.m. I mean 10 a.m. Central Time. So it's going to be noon hour my time, which is New York Standard Time. So yeah, we're gonna have that, and then we're gonna go right into WrestleMania. I'm going to have a fucking meltdown, okay? I'm going to have a meltdown because this means I got to make sure that I have all these videos done. I'm not going to be probably going live that much due to the fact is that there's going to be so much content that it's not going to be it's going to be ridiculous. So, I'm just so glad I can use my camera and I can record a lot, which I'm going to start doing as we get closer and closer so I don't have to worry, and I can actually enjoy the weekend. And because the following weekend is Easter, and then by the time that is, I'm going to Las Vegas for 4 days. I cannot wait. So let's get right into the meat and potatoes. We also had an announcement that Pat McAfee is going to be having a match at WrestleMania. Who do you think who do you think I'm going to be thinking about? Well, there's only one or two people that I would actually go and fight on Vince's behalf. Austin Theory or a turnaround, um maybe Corey Graves has thrown his hat in the ring. Or just maybe if Kevin Owens doesn't get his WrestleMania match with Steve Austin, that could be the turn of the things, like try to make up for the time that he bashed his head. He's just apologizing and whatnot. But I'm not upset with Pat McAfee going in there because go look back when he faced Adam Cole. I am not joking. He made a believer out of me. So that is that. And the Undertaker will be getting inducted by Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. himself. I don't have a problem with that either. This is his greatest creation since WrestleMania, and we we're not mad, but we will be mad if there's going to be other people on it. I think it should be him. Give him a 2-hour thing. Let him get roasted a little bit. Let him, make it a roast almost, and have an induction. This will be the only time that anybody's gonna get this. Nobody else should be getting this. He's gonna get a show to himself. We're going to enjoy it, and we're going to. It is what it is. But yeah, totally. I am totally for him to have his own induction. Nobody else is going to be inducted, and have a roast. Oh, I swear to God, I really want Glenn Jacobs, to roast his brother, but no pun intended. So yeah, I think it will be great, and it will be fun for the fans. It'll get them hyped up for SmackDown, because you're going to be there all day. You're going to be there early afternoon to the middle of the night, and then for the people who have to come back the next day to do Stand and Deliver, then oh my God, WWE is really doing the gambit on you. Then after that, if you have tickets to WrestleMania for night one, you got to get your ass over to the AT&T Stadium. Dear God, I hope there's shuttles, or you're screwed, people. You are really, really screwed. Then Sunday is the only day that you're going to be relaxing. The only day you're going to be relaxing. You could sleep in a little bit, go get yourself a really late brunch, go to the stadium, and then go watch tonight too. Just thinking about it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Seriously. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of the whole kit and caboodle. Uh, let's start off with the people who I promote. Remember, it's Harry's.com, Harry's Razors, MaestroClassics.com. They're an official partner with the WWE. Go check out Liquid Death, liquiddeath.com. Awesome spring water. Not too fond of the flavors because they're sweet. Also, go check out deathwishcoffee.com. Look, this is Liquid Death, and it's so good. It's so good. This is what's going to get me through for WrestleMania. Not joking. Also, go check out ringsidenews.com. Download their new and improved app on Google Play and iOS stores. Please go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. And if you're as serious as you say you are, you want to get into the business and you want to learn, they're having a camp from Outbreak Wrestling. You're going to go. It's April 30th. Go check it out. Go check out all their information on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, so on and so forth. Go check it out. Outbreak Wrestling. And also, please, 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 I'm gonna be hammering this home. April is just around the corner. We just started March. Please, it's gonna come up quicker than you think. It's gonna be here and whatnot. Next month is Autism Awareness Month. I do this every year. Please, on April 2nd, please take a picture, tag it World Autism Awareness Day, tag me, and I want to see how many of you go blue on April 2. Go, please support that, because I'm an advocate. Yes, I am a Paul Heyman girl when it comes to advocacy for my 16-year-old son. He is severely autistic. You'll never see a picture of him on anything. I respect his privacy. This is not his social media. It's my social media, and that's the end of it. So if you want to know anything about my son, I have no problems talking about him. But to expose pictures of him, I don't think so. They're my pictures. I do as I please with them. I don't want him being on my social media. I post a lot of things about him, like on my Instagram, you could find that my son has made Student of the Month, not once but twice. So I wanted to celebrate him. I celebrate him on his birthday. Like he's made me a beautiful mother to him on his birthday, and I do it on Mother's Day. Like this year, I'll be 16 years ago at this time. I was holding my child, and he made me a mother. I was blessed to have him, and even though I can't have any more children, he is more than enough for me, and I am so blessed and I'm so honored that God gave me him to put me to a real test as a mother, and nobody is doing it better than me. I've sacrificed for him. I've put him first, and I love him to pieces. Sometimes he's a royal pain in the ass, but what teenager isn't? But all in all, I love him, and he's a really good kid, and just, I'm just honored to be his mom. I'm a boy mom. I will always be a boy mom, and it's really cool. It's really cool to say, wow, wow, my son is going to be 17 in September, and it's an amazement. Like, I can't believe 17 years have gone past, and I feel like I just gave birth to him. But nonetheless, please, April 2nd, wear blue. Tag me with you wearing blue. I would appreciate it. You could do it on Instagram, whatnot, and it's the same handle, Mels Mat Chat. It's simple. It's simple. Also, please like and share and turn on all notifications after you subscribe to my channel. So when I go live, you know that I've gone live like we are today. Let's get this party started again. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. I cannot see for shit, and I got to put my glasses on. And I know it's a reflection, but I can't help it. And I'm starting to get a headache if I don't put them on. All right, let me get to let me get to my notes. All right, we're going to start off with Rampage from last week. Just to make sure, I'm going to be doing the run through of this week's Dynamite and Rampage on my preview and predictions. So please bear with me. Just to let you know, this. If you're a fan of mine, you know the whole kit and caboodle. I save all the go home shows for that specific um, special show pay-per-view for that. So it lessens this episode, gives me a little bit more on the preview and predictions, and we're cooking with some yes now. All right. This was Rampage from last week. Okay. We are at we are at the Webster Bank Arena in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Speaking of Connecticut, the Young Bucks have never thought I'd see a picture of the Young Bucks in front of the WWE headquarters, but that's a sight to behold. Seriously. We start off with the TNT Championship match. The Spanish God Sammy Guevara versus Andrade El Idolo with Big Money Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy and Jose the assistant. Sammy took down Andrade with a double leg. Andrade got to his feet and hit Sammy with an explosive chop. Sammy tried for the GTH, but Andrade escaped. Andrade tried to shake Sammy's hand, but Sammy flipped off Andrade with one figure salute. This is Andrade's first title shot in AEW, said Taz. I know that's freaking bizarre. Sammy clotheslined Andrade, sending him over the top rope. Andrade jumped back in the ring, but Sammy blasted Andrade with a Spanish fly. Andrade needs to slow it down, said Taz. Sammy attempted the double springboard into the cutter, but Andrade shoved Sammy off the rope, sending Sammy crashing onto the arena floor. Andrade snapped suplex Sammy onto the ramp. Black, back in the ring. Sorry. Back in the ring, Andrade charged at Sammy, but Sammy rallied back with two lariats and then a strong knee strike. Andrade charged at Sammy again, but Sammy dodged it. Andrade's momentum sent him into the arena floor. Sammy wiped out Andrade with a tornillo. Sorry. Sammy has no fear whether it's good for his body or not, said Jericho. The TNT champ is legit, said Taz. Sammy was searching for the 450 splash, but Andrade moved and connected with a big boot, then it DDT'd Sammy on the ring apron. Andrade climbed to the top rope, but Sammy met him up there. Sammy sent Andrade to the mat with a Spanish fly off the top rope. Andrade tried taking the turnbuckle pad off, but ref Paul Turner stopped him. While Turner was bottomishing Andrade, Matt ripped off the turnbuckle pad on the opposite corner of the ring, unbeknownst to the ref. Andrade hip tossed Sammy into the turnbuckle. Andrade charged at Sammy, but Sammy moved out of the way. Sammy hoisted up for a GTH, but Andrade escaped once again and rolled up Sammy. Andrade tried to pin Sammy with his foot on the rope, but Matt Hardy appeared to push Andrade's boot off the rope, and Sammy kicked out of the pin. Did he push Andrade's foot off the rope, or is he trying to help him keep it on? Wondered Jericho. Sammy rocked Andrade with a thrust kick. Sammy climbed to the top turnbuckle, but Andrade blasted him with a rising elbow strike. Sammy kicked out of Andrade's legs, and Andrade landed face first on the exposed turnbuckle. Sammy followed up with a double springboard into a cutter, and Sammy pinned Andrade. Wow, what a victory, Taz. An amazing win, said Taz. I think the miscommunication on the AHFO may have played in the role of this, said Excalibur. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Holy fuck. After the match, Matt Hardy blindsided Sammy. Sting and Darby Allin came out to the ring to even up the odds for Sammy. QT Marshall came out after the commercial break with a microphone. QT, when will the disrespect end from all of you fans to my coworkers? It all stems from Taz because it stems from you, Taz. When I broke him in, I taught him respect. I know you all want Hook. I made this, not you, Taz. Each one of each one of success Hook has is because of me. So Hook, why don't you come out here right now and thank me like a man? I thought I trained you to be before I go back out there, drag you out here by that hair of yours and stretch you in front of your daddy. Hook's music began to play. QT QT sent students from the factory to attack Hook. Hook dispatched of them. Just like that, Hook walks off, said Excalibur. I'm really bad today. Holy shit. Warlow quickly got to his feet and tossed. Oh, sorry. What am I doing here? Warlow versus with Sean Spears versus Nick Camarado with Aaron Solo. They locked up and Nick gut wrenched Warlow. Warlow quickly got to his feet and tossed Nick across the ring. Warlow suplexed Nick over the top rope. Outside the ring, Warlow was looking for a power bomb, but Camarado countered by ramming Warlow into the steel ring steps. Nick hoisted up Warlow with one hand, but Warlow escaped. Warlow chokeslammed Nick. Warlow powerbombed Nick Camarado. The symphony is tuning up the strings, said Jericho. Warlow powerbombed Camarado a second time. Warlow powerbombed Nick a third time and a fourth time, then pinned him. Aaron Solo jumped off the turnbuckles, but Warlow caught him. Warlow was about to powerbomb Aaron, but Sean Spears cracked Aaron with the chair. Warlow was furious and frustrated. Spears, I told you months ago that this powerbomb symphony wasn't getting over, and you need to get back to basics. No more power bombs. You have so much more potential. And I and Max are so proud of you. Spears hugged Warlow, and Warlow looked disgusted. We go to Serena Deeb's 5-minute rookie challenge. Serena Deeb versus Kayla Sparks. We don't call Deeb the professor for nothing, said Jericho. Deeb clotheslined Spark. Deeb began to choke Sparks with her ring rope. Deeb landed uppercuts on Kayla Sparks. Deeb had Sparks tied up in the ropes and placed her in a submission hold. Deeb wrenched down on Sparks' neck while Sparks had her knees tied up in the ropes. Deeb is just completely dominated Sparks, said Jericho. Deeb put Sparks in the Serenity Lock and forced her to tap out. We have the AEW World Women's Championship signing. Tony Schiavone was in the ring with the AEW Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Thunder Rosa to make their match at Revolution official. Baker was backed by Rebel and Jamie Hayter. Thunder Rosa, hey Britt, let's give the people what they want, a better champion. Britt Baker, you could have just signed the paper, but you wanted to talk. We'll talk. The only time Thunder Rosa is relevant is when it's used in a sentence with Britt Baker, who made that lights out match. We went to war. We made history. And you won. So why was everyone talking about me? I got the t-shirt. I got the action figure. So who won? You think my championship will validate you as a professional wrestler, but you'll never be the star that I am. You will never be the pillar that I am. I was building AEW from the ground up while you were wrestling on YouTube. While you never be the face of All Elite Wrestling, never. Jealousy is just hatred built upon insecurities. You don't hate me. You love me. You love everything that I have. It's it's yourself that you hate because you will never be Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Baker signed the contract, but Thunder Rosa jumped across the table and took out Britt Baker. Mercedes Martinez charged down the ring to even up the odds, attacking Rebel and Jamie. Mercedes hit a spinebuster on Hayter, smashing her through the table. The face of the Revolution qualifying match. Freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy with Wheeler Yuta versus the Acclaim Anthony Bowens with Max Caster. Orange hit a tope suicida on Bowens. Anthony Bowens grabbed Cassidy and planted him on the ring apron. Caster clobbered Yuta with his chain wrapped around his fist. Bowens has really come on strong in the last couple of weeks and months, said Jericho. Bowens used a ripcord into a neck breaker for a near fall on Orange. Bowens tossed Orange to the outside of the ring. Bowens distracted the ref while Caster choked Orange with his chain necklace. Orange bounced Bowens from turnbuckle to turnbuckle. Orange tried for a swinging DDT, but Bowens countered with a wipeout. Orange with strikes. Orange countered with stun dog millionaire. Oh, Bowens spun Cassidy around and then flattened him face first. Bowens charged at Orange Cassidy with a knee strike for a near fall. Orange nailed Bowens with a Mitsunoko driver for a near fall. Bowens looked for a DDT, but Orange rallied back with body shots to Bowens. Cassidy backdropped Bowens over the top rope to the outside of the ring. Orange Cassidy spiked Bowens with a diving DDT. Orange followed up with a second DDT for a near fall. Caster threw the boombox into the ring, but Ref Bryce saw it and struggled to pull it out of Bowens' hands. While the ref was distracted, Caster climbed up onto the ring apron. Orange charged at Caster, but Caster retreated back to the arena floor. Bowens rolled up Orange from behind with a handful of Orange's jeans for a near fall. Bowens clotheslined Orange and then pancaked Orange for a near fall. Outside the ring, Caster was about to blindside Orange when someone dressed up like a ring crew member snuck up behind Max Caster. It was Danhausen. Danhausen cursed Caster, ducked out of while, and then Orange Cassidy KO'd Caster with the orange punch. Orange jumped into the ring and served up an orange punch. Bowens and pinned him. Orange Cassidy advances to Revolution, said Excalibur. Orange advances due to the curse of Danhausen and the Acclaim, added Jericho. So that is the end. It's really looking great for Revolution. I can't wait. I know I can't believe I just said that. 3 years ago, I was fucking not even on the same page with AEW. I am legitimately maybe a sentence back. That's how I'm excited for this whole situation. Let me just change something with because my screen keeps going out and I can't deal with it. I know, live and in color here today. Live and in color. Screen time out 10 minutes and then we'll go to go. Let's go back to next is WWE SmackDown. All right. SmackDown begins with Michael Cole standing in the ring for an interview with Women's Royal Rumble winner Ronda Rousey. Rousey says that after giving birth to her child, she knew she wanted to go back and win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania again. Rousey says she wants to set an example for her daughter. Cole asked Rousey how it felt to finally win the Royal Rumble. Rousey said it did feel great, but she doesn't want to dwell too much on the past. And she's looking forward to making Charlotte Flair tap out at WrestleMania. Charlotte's music hits, and the SmackDown Women's Champion makes her way out to the ring. Charlotte says she showed Rousey mercy at the Elimination Chamber, but she will not at WrestleMania, where she will make Rousey tap out to the figure eight. Sonya Deville runs in the ring and attacks Rousey from behind, and Rousey distracts. With Rousey distracted, Charlotte then grabs Rousey and slams her knee into the ring post. Deville taunts Rousey, but Rousey manages to throw Deville out of the ring. That same part where she went, she did the exact same thing to Rhea Ripley. Remember that. Fucking Charlotte, I loved her when she was first started. Now I can't stand her. She does not A, sell, B, she doesn't want to sell, and C, she's a selfish bitch due to the fact is that she campaigned for this. She politicked her way towards this. Because everybody knows the bigger money match is Becky and Ronda. We go to the commercial break. Los Lotharios versus Big E and Kofi Kingston. Our opening tag team match begins with Humberto and Kingston in a lockup. Kingston backs Humberto to the corner and tags in Big E, who hits a big shoulder tackle. Big E locks in an abdominal stretch, and Humberto breaks it with a stomp to the foot. Big E overpowers Humberto and tags in Kingston in. Kingston hits a leapfrog leg drop and covers for a 2. Humberto hits a drop kick to knock Kingston to the outside. Los Lotharios throw Kingston to the ring apron on the outside. We come back from a commercial break with Humberto going for a cover on Kingston for a 2. Humberto locks in a chin lock and takes a cheap shot on Big E on the apron. Angel tags in and locks in a single leg Boston Crab. Kingston rolls free and takes Angel down with a stomp to the chest. Big E and Humberto are tagged in, and Big E hits a belly-to-belly suplex. Big E hits a running splash, and Humberto avoids the big ending and tags in Angel. Big E tags Kingston in. Angel throws Kingston outside the ring and hits a suicide dive onto Kingston on the outside. Kingston dives off the top rope, but Angel hits a super kick. Angel goes up top, but Big E causes the distraction to allow Big E and Kingston to hit the double team big ending, and Big E covers for a 3. Winners are Big E and Kofi Kingston. SmackDown returns from a break, and the Usos being interviewed backstage. The Usos reference the Viking Raiders, who they were scheduled to defend their titles against at the Elimination Chamber. As Jimmy and Jay insult the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar run up, beat down the Usos, and leave the champions on the ground. You all know. We all know this is WrestleMania. If you don't know, then where the hell have you been? Seriously. We come back from the commercial break. We have Xia Li versus Natalya. The match begins with a lockup, and Natalya immediately slams Li to the mat by her hair. Li drops, kicks, and covers for a 2 count. Natalya hits a discus lariat and gets a 2 count from the cover. Natalya hits a snap suplex and locks in an abdominal stretch. Li breaks the hold and hits an exploder suplex covers for a 2. Natalia goes for the sharpshooter, but Lee breaks it free, hits a spinning heel kick, and covers. Lee covers for the 3 count. So Xia Li and her, we're gonna have the next for the 5 weeks. Okay. What is Natalia doing for WrestleMania? Should she be trying to get into contention or something? Or she should be doing a legit feud with somebody? Seriously? Come on. We come back from a commercial break with the new Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn in the ring, celebrating his championship victory. Sami Zayn says, finally, justice has been served. Zayn calls himself a victim of mass conspiracy that cost him his championship. Zayn says despite this, the conspiracy was real, but he knows now that he can overcome anything that they throw at him. Zayn says he is happy to defend the championship against anyone brave enough to step in the ring with him. Zayn's celebration interrupted by Johnny Knoxville. We're having Johnny Knoxville, but we're going to have fucking Adam Page and Adam Cole at Revolution. Whose fucking WrestleMania is this weekend? It's me. It's me. I don't have to wait till April. April is going to be a circus by having 2 nights. Now, if it was 2 nights like fucking Wrestle Kingdom, I wouldn't be complaining. Who runs out to the ring? Knoxville, he says he's there to crash Zayn's celebration like Zayn crashed his movie premiere. Knoxville says he wants to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. Zayn goes to exit the ring, but comes back in and hit a cheap shot to Knoxville, and Zayn hits Knoxville with a haluva kick. So Johnny Knoxville has a match, but Mustafa Ali is sitting at home. I don't want to fucking hear it from you, you fucking assholes. All right? I used to be one. Wake the fuck up and realize, even Vince McMahon said it on his interview with Pat McAfee. He says, these are superstars larger than life. So you're on a show playing a wrestler. So when you get finished with WWE, then you could actually be a wrestler on a wrestling show like AEW. I'm done. I'm done. WWE is not wrestling, okay? It's not wrestling. It is a show about wrestling like Heels is with Stephen Amell. And don't fucking at me, people. Come back from a commercial break. Sasha Banks versus Shotzi Blackheart, if you don't remember her last name. The match begins with Shotzi slapping Banks' Bank in the face. Banks hits a suplex and follows up with a second, but Shotzi counters the third attempt by slamming Banks off the rope. Banks hits a meteor and locks in the Banks statement, and Shotzi quickly tops out. I am timing a women's match tonight. If it lasts under 3 minutes, we are in the diva era, okay? And we're going to address it that way. After the match, Naomi gets in the ring and tells the crowd that they are looking at the next women's tag team championship. So we know now who's taking the belts off of Zelina Vega and Carmella. And by the way, the Staten Island Princess, your reality show, oh. We come back from another commercial break. Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. So we're going to run it back again. We're just running and circling back, basically. Yeah, nice work, Tony. Not Tony. Oh, God forbid. Okay? Nick. Bruce, I'm tired of these rematches. Seriously. And fucking because you're waiting for this whole. whole thing with Roman to get finished, so Drew McIntyre could be another sacrificial lamb. Before the scheduled match, Corbin versus McIntyre before the match got started, Madcap versus McIntyre could get underway. Corbin suggests that Madcap Moss wrestles against McIntyre instead. Moss enters the ring, and Corbin takes cheap shots before the bell. The bell rings, and McIntyre hits the Glasgow Kiss and goes for an Alabama Slam that injured Moss at the Elimination Chamber, but Corbin pulls Moss out of the ring. We come back, Moss having McIntyre in a chin lock. McIntyre hits a lariat and hits a belly-to-belly throw. McIntyre hits a neck breaker off a Corbin distraction. Moss hits a thumb to the eye. Moss throws McIntyre to the corner, and Moss gets a cover for a 2. McIntyre hits Claymore and out of nowhere and picks up the victory. Universal Champion Roman Reigns makes his way out to the ring. The Usos and Paul Heyman join him as well for the contract signing with Brock Lesnar. Reigns is in the ring where the contract signing is set up with Adam Pearce and other WWE officials in the ring. Heyman calls the WrestleMania match the biggest match in WrestleMania history, bigger than Hogan versus Andre, Stone Cold versus The Rock, or when Heyman conquered The Undertaker's undefeated streak. And I know that's still a sore spot with people. It was for me, but I got over it. Move on, grow the fuck up. Heyman says the security in the ring is to protect Brock Lesnar from the tribal chief. We get back with the WWE champion Brock Lesnar coming out to the ring for the contract signing. Lesnar does his introduction while mocking Heyman's signature style. Lesnar says the security guards in the ring would not stop him for 1 second, and that the only thing stopping him is himself and the contract on the table. Lesnar signs the contract and throws it at Reigns. Heyman tells Lesnar he's sick of the disrespect. Lesnar shows him. Heyman tells Lesnar that he won't make it to WrestleMania as champion, that he will lose the title next Saturday, which is tomorrow, in Madison Square Garden. Reigns signs the contract and he calls the WWE Championship his title. He says this is his show and everybody here works for him, including the security. The security guard turned to face Lesnar, and before they could do anything, Brock Lesnar destroys them all and destroys the ring setup as SmackDown goes off the air. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't know how much of this do I care about at this point. I'm hoping that there's going to be more build to it, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. It is what it is. On to Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw begins with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins coming out to the ring for a new episode of Kevin Owens Show. KO is wearing a cowboy hat sideways. Oh my God, he reminds me of what is that guy? Oh God, he's I'll think of it. He was on with Bugs Bunny. He's got the red beard and everything like that. Oh my God, it's hilarious. You know the one. I'm brain farting here. Wait a second. Who was the character on Bugs Bunny with the red beard? Yosemite Sam. Thank God for Google. Owens welcomes us to the show, but says this hasn't been a good year for him and Rollins as of yet. They're the two biggest stars in the history of WWE, and neither of them that have a match for WrestleMania. Rollins agrees and says they have been screwed over and over again, but they have one last hand to be dealt. All they have to do is win the Raw Tag Team Championships next week, and they'll have the path to WrestleMania. The only one that's screwed in this situation is Seth Rollins. To be quite honest, I know you don't want it. I would have actually put Rollins in the Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar match. Basically, it was him that actually started the whole situation between Roman and Lesnar. So having him there and do a big fucking holy shit, have Rollins pin Reigns, and there you go. And have Rollins be more of a dick to than he was when he was the architect. Owen says he heard people saying his hatred for Texas will distract him from nothing but distract him from winning the tag team titles. He says not even Texas legends like JBL or Shawn Michaels or even that dumb hat he's wearing, which he then takes off and jumps on. Rollins laughs before introducing their guest tonight, the Raw Tag Team Champions Alpha Academy. Gable thanks them for having him on the show for the first time. Owens tells Gable that he says thank you, very strangely. Gable says all he heard tonight is a couple of asses making assumptions about their title match next week. He says KO and Rollins wrestled their way into the title match and explains how to all the idiots in the crowd who went to Ohio State University. Gable says the two of them are bitching about not having a match at WrestleMania, but both of them have been there multiple times. Neither he nor Otis have had matches at the big show. Rollins says Alpha Academy can face him and Owens at WrestleMania after they take their titles next week. Gable gets angry and tells them to shush. You see the new shirt. At each other repeatedly. Then Owens hits Gable with a stunner. Otis is ready to throw down as we head to the break. Alpha Academy versus Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. We're back, and this match is already underway. Otis shrugs off any attacks from Owens and slams him. Owens avoids a senton before hitting a sloppy one-on-one of his own. Owens hits a second sloppy senton before tagging Rollins. Seth knocks Gable off the apron and attacks Otis in the corner. Gable distracts Rollins, allowing Otis to knock him out of the ring and into the barricade. Otis gets Seth back inside and beats him in the corner before tagging Gable. Chad wrestles Seth and hits a suplex for a 2 count. Otis tags back in and stays on top of Rollins for a few moments, but Seth makes the tag to Owens and he comes in like a bat out of hell. Owens knocks Otis into the corner and connects with a cannonball. Then it sends Gable and Otis to the floor and jumps off the apron with a cannonball to both. Owens gets back on the apron and hits a frog splash to Gable on the floor, but Otis wipes him out with a tackle. Go to commercial break, and Gable is in control of Owens and applying submission to his left leg. Owens kicks Gable off and tags Rollins, who comes in with forearms and a sling blade. Otis is knocked off the apron, and then Rollins slams Gable's face first into the buckles before hitting a springboard knee and a falcon arrow for a near fall. Rollins wants a discus elbow, sorry, but Gable ducks and grabs him, but Owens tags in and super kicks Gable. Rollins hits an enziguri, then Owens hits Gable with a nasty Ushigoroshi for a near fall. Otis comes back in and hits Rollins with an exploder suplex, then drags Gable into the corner and tags himself in. Otis counters with a stunner and slams Owens. Then hits a Vader bomb and tags Gable for a moonsault. Rollins returns to break the pin attempt and then sends Otis into the ring post and he tumbles to the outside. Rollins hits a suicide dive to Otis on the outside. Meanwhile, Gable out counters the stunner with a nasty German suplex receipt. Gable drags KO over the corner and goes up for a moonsault, but Owens avoids it and tags Rollins. Seth hits a buckle bomb, followed by Owens finally hitting a stunner, and Rollins ends things with the stop for the win. Owens and Rollins pick up the win. We have Amos is backstage. He says he's dominated everyone he's come across in WWE so far. Randy Orton, Riddle, AJ Styles, etc. Tonight, he faces the biggest man he's been in the ring with, and he's going to dominate him too. So we have the appearance of T-Bar. Oh my God. Let's make this a historical thing. Let's make this a historical thing. And we shall throw ourselves of gratitude on the feet of Vince McMahon. Said no one ever. T-Bar makes his way down to the ring after the commercial break to face Amos, but when he gets to the apron, he's knocked off and hits the barricade. Amos drags T-Bar into the ring, and referee says he can't start the match with T-Bar down. Amos lifts him up and tosses him to the corner. T-Bar says he wants the match to start. The bell rings. T-Bar avoids the splash in the corner. Amos catches him with a running clothesline and then chokes bombs him for the win. Big fucking deal. Doudrop and Nikki Ash are backstage, and they say tonight they will be the heroes of their own story as they compete in a 6-woman tag team match. Becky Lynch walks into frame and says she doesn't care who the heroes or villains are. She cares about being declared the winner. Just like she was at SummerSlam when she beat Bianca Belair in 26 seconds. She's going to pin her again tonight and once more at WrestleMania. Now, I want to ask you a question, people. Killer Cross is no longer there. So you would think in WWE's pea-brain minds, we could go back to Nikki Cross. She goes away and she comes back as the crazy Nikki. We're back. We everything is just back to normal, right? No. Oh, for the love of God, please get me through this fucking day. So we have Becky Lynch, Doudrop, and Nikki Ash versus Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Bianca Belair. The match begins with Nikki and Liv, and they exchange holds and reversals. Doudrop tags in and slings Liv across the ring. Morgan hits an enziguri, then tags Belair, who attempts a suplex but can't get her up. Ripley tags in and helps Belair hit a double suplex to Doudrop. Becky and Nikki run in, but Bianca and Ripley send them straight out of the ring. Liv comes in and Ripley assists her in diving over the ropes onto the team backs. We come back and Lynch gets rolled up Belair for a 2 count. Belair attempts a standing vertical suplex, but Lynch rolls her up for a near fall. Bianca gets tossed to the apron and Lynch hits a springboard kick to the face. Lynch grabs Belair's ponytail and yanks her into the ring post. Becky kicks Belair in the gut and pulls her by the hair, which then she ties around the rope and kicks her some more. Becky hangs Belair on the middle rope and hits a leg drop off the second turnbuckle. Lynch stands on Becky's hair, then pulls her in the corner, stomps her down before taking Doudrop. After a few minutes of assault, Nikki tags in and lands some ground and pound on Belair. Becky tags in, but Belair quickly drops her and tags Ripley. Rhea runs over Becky with some short arm clotheslines, snapmare basement drop kicks, and electric chair drop for a near fall. Doudrop runs in and hits Rhea, but Liv sends her out of the ring. Then Nikki sends Morgan out. Nikki tags herself in as Belair does the same. Nikki swings for Belair but gets caught with a glam slam. She attempts a handspring moonsault, but Becky pulls her out of the ring. Morgan dives through the ropes onto Lynch, and then Nikki dives at Ripley but gets caught. Belair and Lynch go back and forth with Bianca and Bianca until Bianca and Becky with some massive shots with her ponytail. Becky bails from the ring. Lynch has welts across her stomach as she retreats up the ramp. Nikki jumps at Belair in the ring, but gets caught with the kiss of death, and that's all she wrote. Winners: Belair, Ripley, and Morgan. We see a replay of last Tuesday's NXT where Dolph Ziggler and Tommaso Ciampa battled Tommaso Ciampa. Ziggler won thanks to the help of Bobby Roode. Ciampa will face Roode after the break. All right, people. I'm going to give you my whole thing with the song change, the music change of Tommaso Ciampa. He is part of a charity. It's a heart charity. So you can't have him coming out as no one will survive. That's completely the opposite what he wants to convey. So he had to change it. And at least he addressed the whole situation. We weren't holding our fucking units, trying to find out what the fuck, why did they change it? Thank you, Tommaso Ciampa, for being the leader that you need to be to let others go on social media and say, hey, this is the reason why I had to change my music. We would have been fine with it. But we're not fucking goddamn psychics or being telepath or whatever, getting those weird powers that only certain people get. Ciampa Rush, we go into Tommaso Ciampa versus Bobby Roode. Ciampa rushes across the ring with a boot, but Roode avoids it. Champion lands some right hands, then a kick to the chest. Roode sends Ciampa out of the ring where he stares down Ziggler. Ciampa drags Roode out of the ring and reverses an Irish whip with a slide and clotheslines Roode. Ciampa knocks the hat off of Dolph's head, then gets Roode back in the ring. Ciampa stomps Roode and lands some chops. Rude counters an Irish whip with a spinebuster for a 2 count. Rude chops Tommaso in the corner before whipping him hard in the opposite buckles. Ciampa boots Rude away with then connects with a discus elbow and a reverse DDT for a near fall. Ciampa looks for a running knee, but Rude avoids it. Ciampa looks for fairy tale ending, but Rude rolls him up for a 2. Ciampa ducks Rude and knees Dolph off the apron, then rolls Bobby in for a win. Winner Tommaso fucking Ciampa. As soon as the match ends, Rude attacks Ciampa. Ziggler gets into the ring and Rude holds him up so he can super kick him. Ziggler gets the microphone and says, Ciampa got lucky tonight, but tomorrow night, him and the NXT champion, Braun Breaker, will find out why him and Rude are the dirtiest dogs in the game. There's a replay of showing that Dana Brooke winning the 24/7 championship from Reginald last week. Dana and Reggie make their way to the ring for a mixed tag match. This is where I went to the bathroom. I got myself a snack. I called my son's school to see how he had a good day or not. And then I came back to this. So I didn't watch one fucking bit of it. Dana and Tamina start proceedings and Brooke hits a head scissors. Dana hits a handspring splash, then runs at Tamina, but eats a lariat. Akira and Reggie tag in. Tozawa hits an enziguri, but Reggie rolls him up, and Tamina breaks the pin. Tamina is sent out of the ring by Dana, and Reggie hits Tozawa with a leaping seated senton for the win. Brooke and Reggie win. After the match, Dana and Reggie pose together. Then Brooke kisses Reggie and takes him down to the mat. Not to be outdone, Tamina grabs Tozawa and kisses him too. She walks off. Tozawa looks faint, so Reggie and Dana try to cool him down. The Street Profits are interviewed backstage, and they say they need to save the tag team division. What tag team division? Oh, Jesus Christ. Because it's chaotic right now. Dawkins says they don't care who wins the titles next week because they're ready to challenge the winners at WrestleMania. No, you don't deserve a WrestleMania spot. Seriously, you don't need to be there. Okay, you go and support Bianca. We're coming back from a commercial break. Ray and Dominic come to the ring, and we see replays of what went down last week between them. The Miz and Logan Paul. Ray says they're sick of the Miz and his antics, and they're going to shut him up once and for all at WrestleMania. And the Miz comes out and stands on the ramp. Miz runs down of his and Logan Paul's accolades and says he and Logan are two A-listers who joined forces. They might dominate WWE for years to come. No, they're not A-listers. Logan Paul is not an A-lister. Okay? You're not an A-lister. You're barely a B. Miz says he even heard some cheers last week, and he thinks he's finally getting the respect he deserves. The fans boo, and Miz tells them to shut up. Miz says the fans are sick of watching the same old crap every week. Now, that I can definitely agree with. Nobody wants to see Ray and Dominic as the tag team champions. Miz says him and Logan are new, exciting, and far beyond the WWE universe because they are awesome. So we have Ray and Dominic Mysterio versus the Hurt Business. I know. Whatever. We return to find the match already underway. And Cedric Alexander is beating on Ray. Alexander clobbers Ray with an elbow and tags Sheldon, who lands a body slam. Benjamin punches Ray on the mat. before tagging Alexander in the back. Ray eventually drops Alexander and tags Dominic, who becomes in hot against Shelton. Dominic knocks Benjamin into the corner and runs at him, but gets flipped to the apron where he kicks Sheldon. Dominic hits springboard crossbody and covers for it too. Sheldon catches Dominic with a power slam, but Dominic backs with a tornado DDT. Cedric breaks up the pin, but Ray sends him out of the ring and jumps onto him with a hurricanrana on the floor. Dominic knocks Sheldon out of the ring and hits a suicide dive, but Sheldon catches him. Dominic counters Benjamin on the floor and gets him back inside the ring. The Miz appears and grabs the feet of Dominic, but gets kicked off. Ray chases Miz off, but Sheldon rolls up Dominic for the win. The Hurt Business picks up the win. We go to the back, I think. Yeah, we go to the back, and Riddle is coloring in a book backstage when Randy appears. Riddle says he's been foggy the past week, and he doesn't know if it's because he took the stomp last week or because he puts the high in Ohio. Orton needs to have another WWE title run. Not a long one, but enough to pay him back from what he's doing, unless he's really loving it. And who am I to, argue? Orton says Riddle seems exactly fine as usual. Riddle asks if Orton has any advice, and he says no, because they're going to do what they always do, kick ass. Riddle says they're going to do with the three most devastating letters in sports entertainment, the RKO. We come back from commercial break. Carmella and Queen Zelina are talking backstage. Vega says she watched the first episode of Carmella's new reality show and asks why her and Graves talk so much about sex. Carmella says if we retain the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania, you'll see them do a lot more than just talk about sex. Oh, please don't do that. You're in no position. You're a fucking PG company. Don't even say anything. Please. Give me a fucking break. Yeah, I'd like you to go see the two Hall of Famers about that. I think they're going to tell you have several seats, you and Corey, and go do something else. Do something original. Because I hear that thing stunk. Riddle starts with, we have Arcade Bro versus the Street Profits. Riddle starts with Dawkins and they exchange holds until Angelo hits a spinning back elbow. Ford tags in, connects with a shoulder tackle. Then Dawkins throws him into Riddle, but he gets caught in a triangle choke. Ford fights out, but Riddle hits him with a gut-wrench suplex and tags Orton, who stomps his limbs and chest over and over. I want Bianca Belair and the Street Profits to go heel. Who's with me? Right after WrestleMania. If they get the titles and everything, they're all coming out, and then they'll say, you know what? We're sick and tired of the fans. We're sick and tired of this. This is us. We're getting all the smoke. You're not. You did get us into this position. We did. Riddle tags in and Orton flips him onto Ford, but he lands on knees. Dawkins tags in and slams Riddle, then puts him in the corner and unloads him with rights and lefts. Riddle clotheslines Dawkins over the rope, and jumps out onto him. Then Ford knocks Orton off the apron and dives off the apron onto Riddle as we head to the break. We return. Riddle drops Dawkins, and both men are down. Tags to Orton and Ford, and Randy lands some clotheslines and a snap power slam. Ford rolls to the apron where Orton drags him through the ropes for a draping DDT. Riddle and Dawkins run in, and Riddle takes him over the top rope with an armbar, and they both down on the outside. Orton looks for an RKO, but Ford connects with an enziguri, followed by a huge frog splash. Ford covers, and Orton puts his foot on the foot on the bottom rope, but Dawkins shoves it off, and the Profits get the win. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins are interviewed backstage, and they're both very happy. Rollins says next week they're going to win the tag team titles. Then they could do a champion versus championship match if they want. Well, Owens says the only thing sweeter than defending the titles at WrestleMania will be leaving Dallas as soon as it's over. Come back from a commercial break. We have Vince McMahon and Austin Theory are backstage, and Vince says he's going to be on Pat McAfee's show this week. Theory talks about how great Pat is and says it's been 20 years since Vince did a sit-down interview, and the last time he slapped the papers out of the interviewer's hands. Theory asks what happens if he does the same this week, and Pat jumps him. Theory says could be there to help him out. McMahon says it's not that kind of show and walks off. Theory smiles and says, but it could be. The United States Championship match, Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. The match gets underway with a lock up. Balor takes Priest down with an arm submission, but Damian backs Finn into the corner and chops him. Priest hits a back elbow and counters a takedown with a forearm to the back. Priest grabs a rear chin lock, but Balor fights up. Priest wants a power bomb, but Balor flips him off and hits a drop kick. Balor stomps Priest using the ropes for leverage, and he rolls out. Then Balor dives over the ropes onto him. We go to a commercial break. Balor and Priest exchange shots. Finn takes him down with a Pele kick. Balor lands a few elbows, then trips Priest over, and hits a double stop. Finn backs Priest into the corner and shoulders him, then counters him to hit a sling blade. Balor drop kicks Priest into the buckles, then goes up for a coup de grace, but nobody's home. Priest hits a clothesline, then attempts south of heaven, but Balor rolls him up for a near fall. Priest lands a few strikes and a kick to the head, then south of heaven for a near fall. Priest hits Balor for the reckoning, but Balor counters with an elbow slam. Balor hits a shotgun drop kick, again heads up top. Finn hits a coup de grace and covers him for the win. We have a new WWE United States champion in Finn Balor. It's been a long time coming. So, the real Grand Slam is if he gets the both WWE Championship and a tag team title. Please, for the love of God, please, SummerSlam, AJ Styles and Finn Balor versus whomever's the tag team champions on Monday Night Raw. They win. We have like the leaders of the Bullet Club. You have money being printed right then and there. Just saying. After the match, Priest gets the microphone. He says, let's face it, the fans carry Balor to take his title from him. He asks if Balor hears all that respect. Yeah, he never got any respect. He's successful despite the fans. So if he's going to win the title back and all, That love and respect won't mean a damn thing to him. Balor gets in Damien's face, who turns to leave, but Cheap shots Balor with the microphone. Priest lifts Balor and throws him out of the ring. Priest goes outside and lifts Finn, then crucif- crucifix bombs him into the announce desk. Come back from the commercial break. WWE Hall of Famer, the rated R superstar Edge comes to the ring. Edge says, "This is it. The moment he's been waiting for. Someone to step up and challenge him to a match at WrestleMania. His road becomes a lot clearer tonight, and he's ready to see who steps up." Edge waits impatiently, and his challenge is eventually answered by the phenomenal superstar. I'm seriously sitting there and I'm legitimately having heart palpitations. I'm thinking I'm going to hear the fucking uh, Cody Rhodes' theme song from AEW because I think he owns the damn thing. And I'm like, oh my God, no, 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 please, 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 please. I'm legitimately holding my phone and I'm like, I better not having to do this. I better not have to do this. I better not. And I heard the melodious tones of DMX. Thank you. I did pray to my grandfather for this, so just to let you know. So AJ Styles comes to the ring to a big reaction, and Edge is grinning. Styles says, "I accept." Edge says he's happy because he wanted this match for a long time. So has AJ and the fans too. So WWE actually gave us one match. One match. Can we do more, please? This is a great start. Now let's just keep building on it. Edge says he wants the Bulldog. He doesn't want the guy who's been playing tag team bitch to Amos for the past year. Edge looks for a handshake and Styles isn't sure, so Edge attacks him. Edge beats AJ into the corner, but Styles starts firing back and hits an insecurity. Styles goes to the apron for a phenomenal forearm, but Edge ducks it and then kicks him into the groin. Edge looks like he's lost it. Some fans are starting to turn, but others are chanting his name. Edge slowly gets to the top, gets on top of AJ and lands series of forearms, and now the boos are coming. Ed starts to leave, but stops and looks to have some inner turmoil. He gets out of the ring, walks around, grabs two steel chairs. Edge brings the chairs into the ring and sets AJ's head on one of them, then slowly lifts the other. Edge sets the chair back down and leans on the ropes, looking conflicted. Suddenly, he grabs the chair and hits AJ Styles with a concerto. Edge stares at AJ's limp corpse, then does it again. AJ looks at the WrestleMania sign and smiles as the show comes to the end. Oh my God. I'm like, just that I'm psyched for this match. I'm so psyched for this match. And the funny thing is that I don't care what else is on either night one, night two. But of course, I'm going to be here with it. So you got to love it. 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 I'm just checking something. Hold on. Okay. I was just checking some messages. Sorry. And last but not least, we're going to go to NXT 2.0. I don't know if anybody watches it, but you don't have to watch it for 2 hours. You get the whole run through me. So you just save yourself 2 hours, and then what is it? How long have I been on here? An hour, and I've given you everything that's been important this week. You don't worry. I will take the bullet for this one. Okay. This is what I do for you, my lovely audience. We are live at the Capitol Wrestling Center, and out comes NXT champion Braun Breaker, along with the man who took the title from him, Tommaso Ciampa. Both men are wearing Steiner singlets. Bobby Roode comes out to his old NXT music, followed by Dolph Ziggler, but Breaker and Ciampa attack them on the ramp. All four men brawl around the ringside area, and Ciampa dives over the ropes on the dogs with a corkscrew plancha. Then he and Breaker sit on the apron and pat themselves on the back. The match starts. Ciampa starts with the match with Ziggler, and Roode is still down on the outside. Ciampa stomps Dolph before tagging Breaker. Ciampa throws Ziggler up over his head, and Breaker impressively catches him and hits a spine buster. Roode rushes back, and Breaker drops him with a right hand. But then Ziggler hits him with a zigzag for a near fall. Roode tags in and beats Braun down, then lands a neck breaker. The fans chant welcome. The fans chant welcome home, and Roode tells them to shut up, so they start chanting, "Go back to Raw." Ziggler tags in and grabs a sleeper on Breaker as the fans chant, "You don't go here." Breaker fights up and gets caught with a neck breaker. Roode tags back in and hits a suplex, followed by a flying forearm in the middle of flying forearm off the middle rope. Ziggler backs in and takes the face of Braun, then tags Roode for a double team, but Breaker counters them both. Ciampa gets the tag and comes in hot with clotheslines to both Roode and Ziggler in the corners. Then a flying double clothesline to drop both. Ciampa pulls the singlet down and looks for a fairy tale ending, but Roode runs him into the corner. Ciampa fights him off and hits Dolph on the apron, but Roode catches him with a spinebuster for a 2 count. We come back from commercial to see Ciampa catapult Dolph up over the ropes to the floor. Roode checks on Ziggler before running around to pull Breaker off the apron and prevent the tag to Ciampa. Roode throws Breaker over the barricade into the crowd, then tags into the match and hits a double team backbreaker with Ziggler for a near fall. The dogs look to isolate Ciampa, but he sends Dolph to the outside and drops Roode. Both men are down, but Breaker returns to the apron and gets the tag opposite Ziggler. Braun comes in flying with lariats and hits both men with belly-to-belly suplexes. Somewhere, Bailey is a very proud person right now. Breaker runs for a spear, but Dolph kicks him in the face. Braun ducks a super kick and connects with a powerful spear. Then tags Ciampa in tags Ciampa as the fans bark. Ciampa goes up top and Braun lifts Dolph into the shoulders so they can hit the iconic Steiner eyes. Ciampa covers the I think it's the Frankensteiner. I think Ciampa covers Ziggler, but Roode rushes and breaks the pin attempt. Ciampa and Roode go back and forth, but Breaker sends him out of the ring. Ciampa is able to hit Ziggler with the fairy tale ending and covers for the pin. So Breaker and Ciampa win. LA Knight is walking backstage and he tells the interview to call anyone they can because he's about to walk out to the ring and call out Grace and Waller. It's time to play the Piper, and toot toot, that's him. To pay the Piper, sorry. We come back from the commercial break. LA Knight is in the ring and the fans are chanting his name, Knight. says him and Grayson Waller have been doing this since before Halloween Havoc, where he beat Knight to get the hosting job. They put each other through hell in war games. Then Waller stole his car and blindsided him, taking him out of action. Well, he came back and beat the holy hell out of Waller. So he went and got a restraining order and a bodyguard. Did that stop LA Knight? Nuh-uh. Grayson Waller and Sanga appear on the platform above the fans, and Waller says he beat Knight last week and their feud is over. Knight says can't hear what he's saying over the fans telling him how much he sucks. Waller says the fans suck, Knight sucks, and he's moving on with his life. Knight holds him up and shows a picture of last week when he left him lying in the ring. Knight says they wrestled twice, and both times he left Grayson lying. LA asked Waller to prove he has a LA asked Waller to prove he has a shred of manhood in those marbles. He wants a last man standing match. Waller says next week he's getting all the likes and the swipes because he'll be the last man standing. Knight says he's hoping he'd say that because he's going to leave Waller lying for a third and final time, not because he's good enough, because Knight won't allow him to win. And that's a fact of life. Yeah. Indy Hartwell is warming up backstage, but Persia is busy texting. Hartwell asks if she's got her eye on the ball. Perota says she does. They walk out, but Persia runs back to send one last text. We come back from the commercial. We have the round one in the Women's Dusty Cup. Dakota Kai and Wendy Chu versus India Hartwell and Persia Perota. Wendy Chu starts with Persia and gets taken down quickly. Indy tags in and tries to continue the assault but gets kicked into the corner. Kai tags in and teams with Chu to slam Hartwell in the buckles. Then both hits running kicks. Kai is surprised by their chemistry. Kai grabs a headlock and tags Chu. Then both hit a double facebuster. Chu misses a splash in the corner and gets dropped with a lariat. Perota tags in and swings for a clothesline, but Chu ducks it. Then Persia hits a big boot to the face. Indy tags back in and hits a clothesline, following a backbreaker from Persia. Hartwell applies a submission, but Chu flings her off, then rolls her up for a 2. Kai tags in and hits a handspring kick. Then Persia on the apron. Kai backs Indy into the corner and hits a boot to the face for a near fall. Perota tags back in and hits a modified X Factor on Kai, but Chu breaks the pin. Chu grabs Persia and holds her so Kai can hit a running boot. Chu tags in and Kai tags instantly back in, which isn't legal. And Chu hits a splash off the middle rope, followed by a double stomp off the top rope. From the top, Dakota. Kai covers Perota to score the pin and progress. This unlikely due to the semifinals. So Dakota Kai and Wendy Chu are moving on. Wow. We see a lengthy preview of Diamond Mine versus Imperium for the tag team titles. Amari Miller versus Lash Legend. I'm going to be very quite honest. I wasn't home for this. I was out. I actually decided, you know what? It's a Tuesday night. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna have fun and be an adult. I'm almost 40 years old. I decided to do this, and I think I made the better decision. The match between former partners gets underway, and Lash trash talks Amari, who eventually hits her with a forearm. Legend shrugs Amari off, connects with a pump kick. Legend lifts Miller up and bounces her head off between the top and middle rope repeatedly. Lash hits a backbreaker and bends Miller over her knee. Amari fights free and rolls out of the way of the elbow drop. Both women slowly get to their feet, and Miller hits a kick to the face. Then nice springboard moonsault. Legend slings Miller into the buckles, then lifts her up onto the shoulders and hits something of a jackhammer for a win. Solo Sequoia is interviewed backstage. He says he's heard that Walter thinks he's going to chop him all night and beat some respect into him. Well, respect is two-way street. He's going to give as good as he gets. We come back from commercial. Brooke Jensen and Josh Briggs are looking at tractors on their phone. Backstage, Electra Lopez walks past. Jensen says, I'd do anything to ride that all night long. Electra thinks they're talking about her. They try to explain, you wouldn't even know what to do with a real woman. Then Jensen responds, joke's on you. I never been with a real woman. I've never been with a real woman. Electra walks off and Briggs is embarrassed. Walter versus Solo Sequoia. And I'm going to be calling him Walter. I'm not calling him his WWE slave name, okay? The match begins and Walter floors Solo right away. Walter hits a back elbow but puts Sequoia in the corner where he lands some forearms to the chest and a European uppercut. Sequoia tries to fight back but gets dropped with a chop to the chest. Walter twists the neck with his feet, then lifts Solo for a body slam. Solo lands some strikes, but Walter sets him back with a big boot. Walter takes Sequoia down with a slide headlock. Solo climbs up, but Walter slams him right back down with a clothesline. Walter applies a Boston Crab, but Solo Sequoia crawls to the bottom rope to force a break. Walter lands some stiff shots, but Sequoia seems to be getting fired up. Solo lands a few forearms and chops, then drops Walter with a leg lariat. Solo wants a super kick, but Walter catches it only to get Samoan drop. Walter rolls out before he can get pinned. With 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 Walter on the floor, Sequoia goes to the apron and hits a flying splash. Back in the ring, Solo catches him with a super kick for a near fall. Both commentators repeatedly using the name Walter. So I don't understand this. Why did you change it in the match by accident? So if the fucking announcers are doing it, just let it go. Please. Solo goes up for an Uso splash, but Walter avoids and locks in a sleeper. Sequoia fights it, but Walter connects with a forearm to the back of the head. Walter reapplies the submission for a moment, but just before the referee stops it, Walter hits 2 power bombs for the win, and Walter wins. Dolph Ziggler interviewed backstage. He says he still wants a title shot against Braun Breaker next week. Ciampa walks up and says Dolph might want something, but he doesn't deserve a damn thing after tonight. They bicker until Braun Breaker walks up and says Ziggler doesn't get to call the shots in NXT. Ziggler goats Breaker and says Ciampa probably thinks he could beat him. Ciampa says he already has. In the Breaker says he'll beat both of them in one night. Ziggler laughs. Good luck with that, kid. Come back from a commercial break. Indy Hartwell and Persia Perota, are backstage, laminated their loss. Indy says they don't even have matching gear. Persia apologizes and says it's her. But Hartwell says they win as a team and lose as a team. Duke Hudson walks up and Persia walks off with him, leaving Indy angry. Drago Anthony versus Joe Gacy. No, sorry. Harlan. The match starts. Anthony goes after Harlan, but quickly gets overwhelmed and has to bail from the ring. Gacy distracts him, allowing Harlan to grab Drago by the hair and pull him onto the apron. Harlan slams Drago into the corner, then splashes his back on the mat. Anthony gets to the corner and Harlan shrugs him off with haymakers. Anthony ducks a clothesline and hits a shoulder block. Harlan slams Anthony down, then bangs his head into the mat repeatedly. Harlan chokeslams Anthony for the win. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams are interviewed backstage. Trick says every time Hayes steps in the ring, it's the main event. It doesn't matter what part of the show that they're on, Hayes says Pete Dunne was a big champion at one of the best competitors in NXT until he arrived. When you're on top like he is, you're looking down at all the dudes. And after tonight, the question won't be who's next for Melo. It will be who's left for Melo. We come back from commercial break. Ivy Nile is trading backstage when Tatum Paxley approaches her and apologizes for their loss. Paxley says she understands why Ivy did what she did. Nile says it's not that simple. That was just a taste of what it takes for you want in Diamond Mine. It has been reported, speaking of Diamond Mine, that Roderick Strong is in NXT UK. So it gives you an opportunity to go and check it out. I watch it. I just don't do the run through here because I want to get you out of here. This is more important. I'm trying to shuffle my show around. I may be doing it now in like blocks to break it up. It gives you about maybe an hour and a half. I may be doing that. And then I can get involved into the show a little bit more, and then I don't have to be so like running through everything. So it gives you more of me, and then that's all that counts, right? Okay. Dusty Classic Women's Round 1, Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez versus Valencia Feroz and Ursula Leon. The match starts with Jade and Leon and Ursula getting the better of her and dances. Raquel tags in and grabs hold, but Feroz tags in and tries to use her speed to stay on top of Gonzalez. Raquel counters a roll-up, throws Feroz into the corner. Jade tags in and hits a Frankensteiner, then a running knee against the ropes. Feroz tackles Jade out of the ring and as she attempts a tag, then Leon tags back in. Leon then throws Feroz up and over the ropes onto Raquel Gonzalez. Leon then dives through the ropes with a cannonball to Gonzalez. Back inside, and Leon looks to isolate Cora and makes quick tags. Feroz botches a springboard sunset flip and almost breaks Jade's neck. Then tags Leon for a missile dropkick, and she flats out misses. Jade fights free from a single leg Boston Crab and makes the tag to Raquel. Gonzalez catches a flying Faraz and slams her, then knocks Leon off the apron. Gonzalez forearms Feroz in the chest and hits a Chingota bomb, then tags Cora. Raquel lifts Jade up and boots Leon as she runs into the ring. Raquel slams Jade onto Feroz, and she covers for the win. So they're moving on. Jade and Gonzalez. Backstage, we have Saray and her bizarre schoolgirl outfit and showing her magical necklace to some of the ladies. Tiffany Stratton walks up and asks to see the necklace, but Saray won't show it, so Stratton slams her into the garage door and walks off. Come back from the commercial. Andre Chase versus Von Wagner. Chase starts off hot with right hands and jumps at Wagner, but gets caught and slammed into the corner. Wagner shoulders Chase repeatedly until the referee warns him. Then Chase kicks him away. Wagner hits a body slam, kicks Chase several times, then throws him across the ring. Chase avoids a splash in the corner and delivers a knee to the gut, then attacks the leg of Wagner. Chase stomps Wagner to the chants of his fans. Then Bodie and Robert Stone get into an argument at ringside. Chase gets out of the ring to the back, Stone off, but Wagner gets out and Dex Hayward drops him. Chase runs Wagner into the ring post and then sends him into the ring. He checks on Bodie, who tells him to get away. Chase gets in the ring and eats a clothesline, followed by a modified net breaker that is that for the win. Von Wagner wins. We go to another vignette about Nikki Lyons. Another one of her Oscar-worthy promos backstage in which she heard Lash Legend talking trash about her. We'll see if she can keep that same energy. They're face to face. In the main event, we have the North American Championship, Carmelo Hayes versus Pete Dunne. The main event gets underway and they lock up. Dunne shoots Hayes into the ropes and ducks and dodges him until Mello hits a clothesline. Hayes chops Dunne and then flips over him, gets caught with a clothesline. Dunne kicks Mello in the back and he's bleeding from the lip. Dunne grabs the wrist and takes Hayes down, then kicks his elbow. Pete kicks Hayes in the chest, then chops him and hits a running lariat. Hayes fires back with a lariat of his own. Then both men hit stereo lariats a few times and neither back down. They keep hitting each other until they both fall to their knees. Dunne avoids a lariat and hits a tornado DDT. Dunne lifts Carmelo up and hits a modified release X-Plex and shrugs to the camera as we head to break. We're back. Dunne has Hayes down with an arm submission. Hayes fights up with with forearms, but Dunn fires back, right back. Dunn wants a wheelbarrow suplex, but Hayes counters into a Boston Crab. Dunn kicks Hayes off, but gets sent into the corner. Dunn avoids a leg drop. Gets sent into the corner. Dunn avoids leg drop and goes to the apron where he delivers an enziguri. Dunn stares down Trick on the floor before getting back onto the apron where Hayes leaps over the ropes and hits a DDT to him. Carmelo then rolls him back inside for a near fall. Hayes connects with a clothesline before grabbing a submission. Dunn fights back and sends Hayes into the buckles, then jumps on his elbow. Hayes avoids a stomp to the hand and hits a springboard, but Dunn counters with a elbow to the jaw for a near fall. Dunn counters a neck breaker and kicks Hayes in the back. Hayes counters a suplex and hits a gnarly code breaker for a near fall. Dunn grabs an ankle lock but lifts Hayes up high and hits his arm out. Hayes avoids Dunn and hits a Booker T-esque spinning kick. Dunn catches Mello with a bitter end, but Hayes rolls away to avoid the pin. Dunn grabs Hayes with a triangle choke, then bends his fingers. Hayes goes through the ropes and uses them to choke Dunn and get free. Hayes hits a tilt-a-whirl arm breaker, but Dunn snaps his fingers to get free. Dunn grabs Mello and looks for a bitter end, but Hayes reverses with a neck breaker. Hayes goes to the top rope, but Dunn attacks him and climbs up. Trick gets on the apron, but Dunn grabs his fingers and snaps them. Hayes then knocks Dunn off the rope and follows up with a flying famouser for a win. Carmella Hayes returns. After the match, Hayes says he's a gold mine and he's going to build Fort Knox around him. He says he's going to WrestleMania weekend to defend the title in the same match that he was born in, a ladder match. So, who is his opponent going to be? Who is his opponent? There's nobody on the fucking roster that was been built up. So that is it. That was episode 231. I will be back here at 9 a.m. in the morning. I'm not going to be live, but it will be uploaded because I would like to relax this weekend. I want to enjoy Revolution. I want to just enjoy this weekend. We're going to have a great weekend and I just want to relax. So it will be uploaded 9 a.m. Okay. Then I'm going to go live with the review that night. I don't care how late it is. I don't need sleep. Then I'm going to be back here for episode 232 a week from today. So there's going to be a lot going on. We're going to get ready for WrestleMania and so much more. But please remember, 9 a.m. the video is going to go up for the review. And I'll give you all my thoughts and stuff about the Ring of Honor situation and if Cody Rhodes is going back to AEW via Ring of Honor. And I'm just so glad I don't have to fucking eat my words. You have no fucking clue that this was making my stomach hurt. I have acid reflux. And between this and my, I'm surprised I didn't want to throw up, so. I want everybody to have a great Revolution weekend. I will remember 9 a.m. the video is going to go up. And remember, I will be going live a week from today for episode 232. So, I want everybody to go and check out Harry's razors at harrys.com. Go check out My Astro Classics, official partner of WWE. They make them look fantastic. Also, please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. They have an amazing sparkling water. They have flavored waters, whatnot, to your heart's content. Please go check out Death Wish Coffee, deathwishcoffee.com. Go check out ringsidenews.com. This is where you're going to get all your information. Let them do the work for you, and it's free. Download it on Google Play and iOS stores. Please go check out HOG Wrestling at HOGWrestling.net. And please go check out Camp Outbreak. It'll be the end of November. What is it? The end of what is it? The end of April. So go check on their Twitter, the whole giddy gambit of what is it called? Social media and whatnot. So go check that out. And please join me live next week. Video will be up. Have a great Friday. And we're all elite. Even me. Have a great weekend. Bye. One more thing. Please like and share this video and turn my notifications after you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Would you please? I appreciate it. All right.